All right. Good morning, everybody. Today, I'm going to be hosting this episode, and I am so lucky to be having one of my coworkers, Miss Laura Christ.
Hi.
And today, we're going to be talking about like a really special topic for us, which is how to deal with work and stress, because we got them know that it's really hard, especially because we're both students and we have both to handle work, stress, and studying all full time.
Exactly.
So, Laura, how are you?
Right now, I'm doing fine. I just came home from work, which is a nice coincidence for today's episode.
Hmm.
So yeah, exam week is coming up, so it's getting a bit stressful, but other than that, I'm good. How are you?
I am hanging there for sure. Studying is all right. The only thing is that I am currently in a weird position with my work. So I'm just waiting to come back to work because it does help me a bit with like organizing. It's just then I'm going to be complaining about when I'm back to work because, yeah, that's work. So first, I want to ask, how do you balance work and studying?
I actually get this question a lot because
Mm,
the past weeks I used to work way more than I am supposed to. And the honest answer and the answer I always give is I don't. I don't know how I do it. It's tough, especially some days where you just don't feel like doing anything anymore. You don't feel like getting up or doing even basic stuff. So you feel so out of energy that you're not even maintaining yourself, your room, your environment, or trying to yeah just care for yourself because you're so stressed with work and uni, which both is full time. So, and that does not work, obviously. You have one thing full time and not two things full time. So it is tough. And for a few weeks, it might be fine. But to continue this over and over again is going to take a toll on your mental health, definitely.
yeah. Especially because there's a line between priorities, of course, and sometimes you always say it's like, yeah, studying is my priority because that's, I mean, in my case, and I think as well in yours, that it's why we are in this country, in the Netherlands, that we came here to study. Yet we sometimes like are like, yes, but I had to work extra because my work is requiring it, even though it's affecting my studies. Like I sometimes have been working like for like 2 3 days in a row, like, and then the next day after that I had an exam. I don't know if you had the same situation.
Oh, definitely. It's when because I'm now in my master's. I finished my bachelor's a couple months ago, so now my master's is even worse than my bachelor's because it's taking more of me and I need to invest more. But it's hard to invest more if you don't have the capacity or time to invest more.
Mhm.
And so it was it was rough, not only because I had work days before exams, but I went to work and I went straight to class, or and maybe even back to work, or I went to class and then immediately to work, and I did that days in a row, sometimes 5 times a week. So that that really takes away your time. And even if you have free time in between, and my free time is being at home and sleep, um, you don't feel like you have free time anymore, or you don't feel like doing anything in your free time because you're so stressed about when is my next shift going to start, what is going to happen in my next class. I have to do this and this and this for preparation for a class, or I have those assignments due every week. How am I going to schedule my time for work, or when I come home from work, I still do uni stuff until in the night, to get my things done. And I don't even get them done all the time, but I try to keep track when I have days off. and get back on it. When I started my master's, I got, I actually had this talk with a friend of mine, and I told her at the moment, I don't feel like I'm a student. I feel like I'm a worker. And I do understand that I need to work to live here, of course, because I need to pay rent, I need to pay my bills and everything else.
Mhm.
But it's still rough. And especially because some professors don't even realize that a lot of international students have to work because they cannot live at their parents' place because they live on their own. And living in a big city in the Netherlands is expensive.
Oh,
So
definitely.
you do have to have a job if you don't have rich parents or whatever. So, and I feel like a lot of professors don't realize that you are not only student but also worker at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. Like even sometime right now, currently I am taking a course that it requires me to be there 4 times a week, and it has to be 4 hours direct, like straight forward, meaning that at least in my job when I come back, I'm not gonna be able to do shifts in the night, definitely not, and I'm gonna be just barely making it for the shifts in the morning, which basically it's like all the time that I have. And of course, that's going to affect me. That's going to affect my coworkers. And I think that university has really not figured it out still. And I'm talking in general, many universities that students, while they are full-time students, they still need financial help. And the government sometimes don't give us financial help. They cannot give me financial help, and we need to get this from somewhere, so we have to work. And then there's the constant balance of like, should I get a good grade or even pass this course, or should I get the money to still try to pass the course? And of course, it leads to my other question: how is work, because you have mentioned as well, how is work affecting your personal life? Because in my case, sometimes I was thinking about work when on my free time. Is like, oh my god, I have to remember how these all these recipes, and even like if I have to contact like my coworkers to see what I'm gonna do before coming there, or like the day before. Yeah, how do you manage with your personal life and work?
Um, that's a tough question. At the moment, I'm balancing it better because I also work less at the moment, which is very relieving. And it's finally going back to my normal work state where I don't work 5 times a week, which was just this occasion of a few weeks. I do realize that. So being back to my normal hours is feels like vacation, honestly.
Hmm.
Even though I'm working, it feels like vacation because I find I have time to breathe through in between, and this is exactly what I need. But to balance well with my personal life, I mean, I am a, I can be a very anxious person, and I've been working in this company for over 2 years, and I'm so used to my work, but there's still some things that just make me anxious. Um, so sometimes it's hard to to just go home and not think about work anymore because that's just not happening. It's not, I don't, some people, and I admire those people, also some of my coworkers have this on off button and they go home and they're done, like nothing to think about at work anymore. So, and they also always tell me I should not think about work anymore when I'm outside of work, but it's hard because I care about my job, obviously. I care about the people I'm working with because I'm very close with my coworkers and I consider them as my friends. Because we also do stuff together outside of work. We're all the same age. Most of us are still students. So of course you kind of develop a friendship, especially if you've worked together for years already. But I mean, it already happened that I had dreams about work where then I would joke, man, they should pay me more if I'm already dreaming about work. That's extra work I'm doing right now.
Definitely.
Yeah, but that, I mean, that's more of a joke. But yeah, when it's especially during winter time, so winter depression hits and it's getting dark. And when I start my shifts at like 5, I'm going to work and it's already dark. I'm going home, it's still dark. Um, I'm going to my morning shift, it's dark. So that, of course, that affects you when you're just going to class and work and it's dark all the time. And I know that a lot of people experience that, not only students, but every worker, which can be very frustrating. So yeah, it's just, and then it just, yeah, doesn't let go of you. So
Definitely.
it's tough, but yeah.
Yeah, and like there's not a lot of things you can do. Like you can try to convince your boss regarding this, but it's sometimes really hard to bring. It's like I kind of want like for you to help me to go through this, but at the same time I want you to still like make keep me as an employee with these conditions. And for me at least, it's sometimes really hard to draw that line with like my employees. Like I, yes, I could in theory do it, but it would just be detrimenting my health, my mental health. And yeah, that's a really hard thing to do, because especially like in the case of like us, like that are in the food service industry, that it's just like everything has to be fast, right? Like
Yeah.
customers come and go, and like sometimes you have literally like 30 seconds to just do a whole order, because then there's like 5 to 6 customers waiting, and there's like maybe even 5 to, I've seen many times, 10 orders waiting while like 3 delivery guys are there, and there's a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and this can prolong for a long time. And then I just have you ever had a burnout?
I don't know, but I guess.
uh Actually, I have here the definition if you want to hear it.
Of
This
course.
is the definition by the WHO that says a burnout is a syndrome conceptualized as a result from chronic workspace stress that has not been successfully managed. It's characterized by 3 dimensions: feeling or energy depletion or exhaustion, meaning you're just always fucking tired; increased mental distance from one's job, or feelings of negativism or cynicism related to one's job, like, oh shit, I have to work every single fucking day. I hate this. And reduce professional efficacy, meaning that you're becoming more sloppy at work. And of course, you don't have to meet the free criteria, but it's, you know, just happens. And uh, personally, I have reached sometimes that border where I'm this tired and I'm not happy about my work. And of course, this comes and goes. It can come, it can as well go. It's just I think that not many people talk about these type of burnouts, because they are like, oh, you might be lazy and whatnot. But have you ever experienced a burnout?
In that sense, definitely. I would not necessarily blame it on the job itself, because I had several jobs in customer service already, and with every customer service job it can be tough and it can be rough on your mental health. But I think, especially in my case, because I have a history of mental problems and issues, that sometimes I just cannot really, well, I don't really know how to deal with situations sometimes, and I know I get better at it. When I think about how I started in my current job, I went to work before every shift. I had panic attacks because I was so scared to go to work, or I would, in the middle of my shift, I would tell people I need to go to the bathroom, and I would cry in the bathroom because I was so overwhelmed with everything, because I didn't know my new environment, I didn't know the people I'm working with, and its customers, who can be tough to handle sometimes.
I will call them sometimes just really bad, sometimes
Yes,
really bad, really
yeah.
bad.
So at but now, when I look at it now today, I think I'm handling my job pretty well. I'm handling the situations pretty well. Also, anxiety is not really there anymore unless something really goes wrong with some systems not working or a machine not working, or because something dysfunctional happens, which can always happen in every job. And when then I'm the person in charge and I have to fix it and I don't know how to fix it and I'm trying, and it can be stressful and it can cause really anxiety attacks in that moment. But I also, what I really acknowledge about my job is that the people I'm working with, because I know a lot of the people I know for months, years maybe, and I know how we work together. I know how I work with every single person because I know how they work, they know how I work, and we just complement each other. At some point you just work so well together that you just complement each other with your work style. And we all are technically in the same boat. We're all studying, and puts and studying is probably one of another factors that just puts so much pressure on you that it also affects you at work. Because when I think about the times where I just worked and had no pressure of studying because, I don't know, vacation or exams were over, it was much less stressful at work for me because it was just my workspace now and not something lingering in my back about my studies, which then is another trigger for anxiety. So if you have too many things going on, your anxiety can be triggered way too easily. And but yeah, I had coworkers that also were panicking during work or had anxiety during work, and I really tried to help them, try to tell them what to do, or they helped me on how to do it, or I gave them a break or they gave me a break, and we talked about it and we went through it and it was all fine again. We went back to work and it's all good. And this is really what I acknowledge about my workplace right now is the people, because the people really help you go through it because we're all in the same boat basically.
Definitely. And I guess, well, like, let's give a shout out to both Elena, Nina, Martina, especially Chris. Chris,
Especially Chris, yes.
especially Chris. Um,
Yes.
yeah,
And many
all
other people that I've worked with so far.
yeah, and all of them, I have to say, because as well, like working with you, like all of you guys are a great team. And I think that if it wasn't because of the same people, the shop will have gone just burning. It will have go like set on fire so many times. But yeah, like a lot of props. I have a lot of respect to all of you guys, and of course, I even sometimes just go there and visit, and it's like, oh, everything is on panic mode. But yeah, like you might actually like just go for it.
But
Like,
we're winging it. It's, and there's no workplace in the world where everything goes well every day, every minute. It's
oh,
not
definitely.
it's not working that way. And I can say that because I started working when I was 15. So 10 years ago, I started jobbing. I had so many jobs already in different fields, where also mainly customer service, but like in supermarkets, at catering services, restaurants, whatever, or in a call center even, and nothing goes well all the time. But to know that you can handle it and you can wing it, or you just know you're not alone with it, you have people behind you and you're behind those people as well, that just helps to get through with it all.
Yeah,
So it,
definitely.
it even helps to reduce the stress because you just know, okay, it's all going to be fine because we're all there for each other.
Absolutely. And it's not just, if any case like you are just panicking, don't worry. It's everybody's panicking, and like everybody it's with each other. And I think that's such a great mentality where every time, like, because work is always going to give you stress. That's something that it's always going to happen. I doubt there's going to be a work out there that it won't give you a really stressful situation, or like you will even like be wondering about it. But if you think that it's not just you, it's everybody that it's in a situation, and I think if you open more about it, I think that's gonna be such a big reliever. Because actually that was like the other thing that I was gonna ask you is like, do you think like we should be talking more about this like around work? It's like these like all these even though like I don't want to change jobs, these jobs is stressful. Like right now, and as well, do you think we should talk more about stress in work and maybe even with our employers?
Yes, absolutely. I When I started working there, I had a different manager, and after a while I had a talk with her and I told her about it, because sometimes she would ask me to go to other shops because people it was understaffed and they needed people. So it was just for one day, one shift. But I had such an anxious feeling about it because, as I said earlier, new environment, new people, and customer service was definitely overstimulating my anxiety.
Mm.
And then I got used to my job, well, my environment, because I know my workplace, I know the people. But even if there's new people, I just know my workplace. That's fine. Um, then I can also deal with new people working there or customers, and then it's all good. But if everything is new around me, that's definitely not nice, and I would rather not do that. So in that sense, I asked her to not to never ask me to go to another shop to work, because I don't know if I can handle that right now. At this moment, if they asked me, I probably could, because I already know also a lot of people from other shops, or I've seen the other shops and I know where the stuff is. And I think I could definitely do that now, but in the beginning I didn't. And she was very understanding, and she said, okay, fine, then she's not going to ask me anymore. Or I told someone, well, one of my coworkers, that I had issues with this and this, or I came to work and I was like, my social battery is super low today. Can I just do kitchen work and not work on the line? Or if you need me on the line, fine, but that I'm not the main person on the line. So I do kitchen work. And we're super fine with it. And I think if we talk about it more, and well, you don't have to, of course.
Mhm.
That's the thing. No one has to talk about anything. But I'm just talking about my case right now. When I started to explain some things to either my manager, whoever my manager was at that time, or my coworkers, they had a better understanding of why I work the way I do, or why I react in certain ways I do. And I have when there's new people and they're scared to work on the line to deal with customers, well, I cannot see that. Like, I cannot just look at them and be like, oh yeah, this person is scared to work with customers. No, but if they tell me that this is an issue, then we can try to somehow conquer it. And maybe I'll just put this person on the line if just one customer is there, so it's not an overflow of customers. Or I explain it over and over again, but I would, but that's probably my personality. I would try to make the workplace as comfortable as possible, or if they have issues, I will try to approach it to them as comfortable as possible. Um, because I want this, well, I'm spending so much time at work. I want this place to be a nice place, even though sometimes situations are not nice, but this is customer service, of course.
Mhm.
It should still be a place I'm not scared to go to. And I don't want others to be scared to come to work, because I know how that feels like. And this is not fun. Um, so it can help, definitely. And people should be open about it, to talk about, be empathic about it, and maybe consider that mental health has a toll on everyone, and that communication, especially in um, food customer service, but also in a company that has several shops around cities, that communication is just something so essential that it would solve so many problems, or not even that those problems don't even appear. But that is just my personal opinion.
Oh no, definitely. I totally agree that every workspace should be, a safe space. And that even just talking about these small stuff, like, well, they're not small stuff for us, but like even just saying I am scared of dealing with this or these other things, like it just relieves so much weight from all the work. I remember at the beginning when I was working in South, which at the beginning I wanted to quit because of some people, like because they didn't understand like my situation, and they told me because I have ADD, and I told them I told them in the beginning, and then I was like that day I just had a really bad day. I could not focus at all, and they told me like you should focus more, and it's like this is the whole point of ADD. You can focus, and of course, if that is the mentality that it's there, uh, of course it's not the best, and it's not a safe space for me that I want to go back to work. And I think that if people as well recognize that, like there's a reason why if somebody's making a mistake, it's because of a reason that they might don't say, but it's there. Sometimes you have to give them benefit of doubt and just sometimes sit them down and talk to them. It's like, is there something wrong? If like you want a break or you want to talk about something, I'm here. And that will be such a reliever for so many people, and especially as well for people that go to other restaurants and all, like as well, take in mind that the coworkers behind you, well, yeah, we are in a really modern country with really like a lot of rules. They as well might be really overworked and really stressed. So as well, please be kind to them. Really be kind to them.
Be kind to everyone, but
Yes,
also, I mean, there were a lot of situations, and I even had this talk today with one of my coworkers, and we said some people should just you just see people that never worked in customer service. You see it because
definitely.
they treat you like they have no idea what you're dealing with or what you're doing, or they try to outsmart you, or they just think you're the dumbest person on earth. Or the times people were also sexist towards me, or like belittling me because I'm a woman. And this is sometimes things that I have experienced sound so insane to me, but it's also so normal because I know there's a lot of people who are just ignorant, arrogant, and just have simply never worked in customer service, so they have no idea how it is to deal with people like this.
Absolutely. You like just think that it's people that I don't know, they're far from like the city, or like they're from a really conservative background. And it's like, no, it's you can see them just, and as someone like from our position in customer services, we see them in a daily basis, which is
Yes.
really bad.
Yeah.
And again, for everybody out there, just realize that be nice to everybody, but as well, people that are serving you food, you should be nice to them, not because of any menace or anything, or like, oh, because they're handling your food. Just they're people. They're going through a lot of stress. They're managing studying and as well, like doing, like getting your finances straight. Just be nice.
And most of the time they're doing it for minimum wage. So
Definitely, which is atrocious. Really.
I
Yeah,
I mean, yes, it's
it's a
but
job.
but then again, there are customers that are just angels, that are super nice, that are
Oh yeah.
so friendly, or people that come in and you straight up want to ask them what they want to have, like in a nice way, but like you straight up want to go to serve them, and they're like, hi, how are you? And you're even like, oh my god, someone asked me how I am.
Mhm.
Okay, that's weird, but I like it, thanks. Or people, when you tell them, oh, just give me a minute, I'll be with you in a minute, they're like, oh, that's fine. Or those little things that just make you realize, okay, they're nice people, that's good. Or you just have a nice small talk with them, or they ask you for your recommendation, and then you just tell them, oh, you can do this and this and this, and then they're so excited and you're excited. And this is really the bright side of customer service, because yes, of course, there are horrible customers, but they're also really nice customers that make you feel good, even good about your job, because you're like, yes, I did this for you, and I know I'm serving you. I know but I did this really with fun in this moment.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I especially enjoy the clients that literally they're eating outside, they have finished their meal, they just go back, tell me it was a really good
Yes.
meal. That's so
Yes.
it makes me feel like, wow, I actually am doing a difference for this person's day, because it's like they had a good meal. Who doesn't want a good meal for like the rest of the day?
Exactly. But also sometimes, well, that goes back to my mental health. Sometimes I just have the strong feeling of you're so useless. But then when I go to work and then I get out of work and then I realize it's some probably for a lot of people that work in customer service, they're like, oh, but that's normal, that you just know how to plan, you just know how to plan stuff, that everything is done in time, that everything is done in the right amount for, I don't know, the whole weekend, or that everything is there. But in a sense of when you're feeling just like you cannot do anything in your life, or you have no skills or whatever, this gives you still a good feeling that you're like, yeah, but I'm weighing this job and I'm doing it well and I'm doing it fine and I just know how to do it. And especially because I'm a terrible cook. I hate cooking and I work in a kitchen.
Yeah,
I'm a terrible cook, but then when I start cooking or I start trying out recipes, I can do them because I know how to do kitchen work. I just don't. But in moments I'm just like, yeah, but I don't trust myself with cooking. Girl, you're working in the kitchen. You can trust yourself with cooking. That should be fine. But and in that moment when I do something in my kitchen at home and it works well, and I'm like, oh nice, yeah, so some things I learned at work, it's working out even in my life.
definitely. It's just such a reliever. Like I actually realized, like, wow, you actually work in a really stressful situation. You make you make good food, and outside of that, like, you can learn to cook way better recipes than you think. And like, because at the end, like, it's a good way of reflecting your self-worth, just realizing that you're actually doing a really good work. And you can like, if that's just small reflection of your day, imagine throughout all the week, the month, the year. Because as well, many people, including me, like, the self-loathing can be just really bad. Just like sometimes you can be like, I cannot do anything right. And yet sometimes work does prove the contrary. It says to you, hey, you can do it, definitely.
You can do something, even though that sounds stupid, because of course everyone can do something, but when you're in that deep state of mind that you can't do anything, or you're a terrible person, or whatever comes with depression or whatever mental health issues one might have, um, those little things, doing those little things and doing them right or good, is just such a nice reminder of, no, you're doing fine. You have skills. You can maintain life, your own life. You can do this job, and you can just do whatever you want if you really put yourself into it.
Definitely. Do you want to give any final remarks for this episode?
Be kind to everyone. um, be a nice customer everywhere, because you never know what people are dealing with that day, but because you never know the person who's serving you if they're dealing with something bad that day. But also people working in customer service, if there is a not bad customer, but a customer that was really um, exhausting to serve, they might as well have something bad going on that day. So I'm not judging customers unless they're really like insulting me or anything, because then that's something I just don't tolerate, because I would never do that. But it doesn't matter in which position you are, customer or server, or at uni, student, teacher, in whatever position you are. um, Everyone might deal with something that they just don't talk about, and they don't want to talk about it, and it's fine. um, Even though communication helps in a lot of situations, but just keep in mind that everyone is dealing with something, and even if you don't see it, it's there, and it should not be invalidated. It should very much be valid to everyone. So being kind can already make a great impact, because you never know.
I couldn't put it in way better words. People just be kind and as well stay safe out there. Thanks a
Yes,
lot, Laura, for being this episode, and as well,
thank you very much for having me here. It was exciting.
it was really exciting. All right, everybody. Bye. Have a good day.
Bye bye.
Bye.